Okay, and here we're going to look at, I believe, I think this is jumpers. Let me just double check. Jumpers, you said there was a bad rear cross at the beginning after the triple. It was an aborted blind. Off course at the yellow jump. Same problem that you're struggling with. Poor response to decel Q. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. I think you're one of the people. Okay, so here we have a really nice start here. Supposedly they're creating a feature where I can measure things here, like from the video. I have no idea how they're doing that. Okay, so we go 1, 2, and then the dog is going to get up. Still a little early, but they get more power than usual, not very flat at all. Here you choose to use a little bit of decel. I don't think the dog's response is very good. Yeah. The turn though is nice, but I would expect with that level of deceleration a little bit of a closer takeoff point to the jump. This is a very nice rear cross. Excellent planning in through there. So I really like the use of the rear here. Very well done. Okay, I think this is fine. This is fine. Okay. Rear. Oh, and then the back jump. Okay. So this is a flush jump. We talked about it in your jumpers. If I extend it out, it looks like it's going to be really close to this wing. So again, let's look at it on a map. So if I have a jump here and a jump here, this is, we're looking at a course map. This is the dog, this is you. You go this way, the dog follows. This is a normal turn, okay? But what happens if we take this jump and we shift it over here? So now, what is that going to look like? This is what I call the flush jump, right? We create a line here and boom, it runs this jump, that plane runs into this jump. So this line here, if the dog does the same arc I just drew, it's going to miss, right? It's going to go outside the wing. So the turn is actually sharper. So we want to be on the lookout for these flush jump situations. And in addition to that, the spacing between this and the off course is the normal regular spacing, right? So the dog's really in tune to that. And so here, the problem is as the dog takes off, it looks like you rotate. So if I'm going to come in and do decel, a couple of things. One, I'm going to stop moving entirely. I don't want my feet dribbling forward. I definitely do not want to rotate the upper body. Because what's happening here with this off-course trap, let me draw it again for you. Here, this is, we're going to make this the triple, and here's the turn the dog should make, okay? When you dribble forward with your footwork, remember the dog is on a line to infinity, and that line is here. So when you slow down, the dog says, okay, I know, she wants me to turn. So the dog does. They turn off their line. This is the first thing they see. It's wrong. They need the second thing. And that's why I always want to try and control the takeoff point rather than trying to turn the dog more in the flat. So hopefully this is something that you can understand, that the back jumping the triple, the dog is correct. The dog is responding to your cue. Maybe not very well, but it satisfies the requirement of your handling, which is, hey, turn off of your straight line and look for an obstacle. The dog did, right? But what you were trying to say was, turn off your line very sharply and look for a very sharp turn obstacle. All right, so we need to be a little more precise with our language. This is where I think you're going to need to use a reverse spin or a Yako turn, a J turn. Either of those things I think would solve this problem here. The other thing that you can do is when you come to a full stop on the decel, and I posted a video on Facebook of another handler doing this from distance, you need to face forward, don't rotate your upper body, and come to a dead stop with your feet. Now, I personally believe that for your dog, the response would have been better. I don't think your dog would have gone off course. Your dog would have got it. But the turn still would have been wide. The takeoff place would have been about the same. That's where I think we can alter the takeoff with the J turn. The reverse spin, you may also get the same takeoff point. But the advantage is you get to keep moving on courses where you really need to be able to keep moving. All right? So hopefully that makes sense. That should fix all your problems there. Okay. This is all beautifully done and a great finish. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Yellow jump in the corner, do so cue. Was it your timing and lack of rotation? Yeah, so it's actually this is potentially confusing. So on a tight turn like this, right? We want the dog to do this. I want to run through here. If I'm going to use these, and that's a decent option, okay, but generally the dog's going to give you a slightly longer line than you want, a wider turn, I mean. Okay, now my second handling option, which I'll do again in yellow, I come up and I stop here. I'm facing this way, and then when the dog starts turning, then I go this way. So that's more 90 degree-ish. I come, I stop, and I go. That tends to give me a better turn. The first one's going to give me more of a wide turn, okay? But sometimes I can't afford to stop here because I need to manage something further downstream. So I might be willing to sacrifice this as long as I'm not going this way on the very next thing. All right, so it's all about trade-offs. Sometimes you don't want to have to decel. Sometimes you will have to do something else. So again, reverse spin here is going to give you more of this line, and the Yako is going to give you more of this line. So it just depends on what the course requires. All right, if you have any questions about that, let me know.